Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list.
Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. Today I want to talk a little bit about the Desh Kal Patra, or the situation around the world which is also affecting the situation in our lives. As we all know that Desh Kal Patra means the country, the time and the situation of the tribe that you are born in or you are present in, and how that affects our lives. Say for example, when the bombs were blasted in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we know that lakhs of people died in those bomb blasts. Now everybody's horoscopes may not have shown death at that particular period of time, yet within minutes lakhs of people succumbed, they died. The reason being is when you're caught in the web of a certain situation where a drastic action is going to be taken by the Srishti, by the creation, by the zodiac, and if you're present in the vicinity, it also sucks you in. So when the Desh Kal Patra or the situation around us is of a certain rigorous nature, of a certain violent nature, it is best for us not to get caught in that situation. And science also tells us, and science has been telling us, that please don't go into situations where you have big crowds, where you have a lot of people, because in crowded places there is a higher chance you may get caught by the coronavirus, by the COVID-19 virus as well. The reason being is that because the higher chances that the contagious disease may also affect us. So wherever there is a crowd, the chances of transmission may be high. Desh Kal Patra also says that where a zodiac is bringing about challenge to a certain place or a certain locality, and if you are present there in that place, then you will also be sucked into it. And hence it is best to avoid those crowded places, not to venture into places where there may be a challenge, because the Desh Kal Patra, the situation around us is explosive and we should not get caught into it, both from a scientific point of view and astrological point of view. It is like this: if you have a machine gun toting person in the streets wanting to kill anybody who it can lay its sight on, will you want to go into the streets or venture there? Or the moment you see pandemonium around you where people are saying run, you will run for shelter. You may want to run into a safe place or run to your house. The same thing is the situation around us right now with the pandemic. And I had made a video last year, somewhere around end of March, I think between 15th or 16th of March to 21st, 22nd of March, if I remember right. I had made a video when there were very few hundreds of deaths in India and in the subcontinent, and it was only Italy which was showcasing a number of deaths, and China had reported just 3,000 deaths. In that video I had already said that the numbers could be high, the numbers could be as much high as 1 million. I had not named a country, but I had said that one of the countries which will be affected will be the subcontinent country. Subcontinent country in the region which I stay refers to just 3 or 4 countries, which is Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and a couple of more countries, but this is the Indian subcontinent region. One of the countries will be severely affected. I have not named that country. I will not name that country yet, but we right now know what the situation is. And the reason is also both scientific but also astrological. One of the key reasons is that when certain placements come about, especially when there is a mixture of Rahu, Saturn and Jupiter coming in a more malefic conjunction or in a malefic situation or malefic aspects, then the challenge is highest. And 2019, end of November is when Jupiter had transited into Sagittarius. However, when Jupiter transited into Sagittarius, Ketu and Saturn were already there in Sagittarius when Jupiter transited into Sagittarius. So here Jupiter or Jiva or life came under the effect of 2 strong malefics, both Ketu, which is the denier, life going into a sign or a house where there is a denier of situations, denier of the effects of the planet. So when Jiva or life-giving planet goes into a conjunction with Ketu, Ketu denies life, and Saturn is the karmic equalizer. Saturn tries to balance karma, and that's when the whole challenge started. However, within a few months after Jupiter moved into Sagittarius, Saturn transited into Capricorn end of January 2020. However, Jupiter was still placed with Ketu in Sagittarius, and Jupiter moved into Capricorn only last year, end of last year, which is in November. So when Saturn transited into Capricorn at the start of the last year in January, within 2 months of that, Rahu transited into the sign of Taurus, and from there Rahu was aspecting Saturn with its 9th aspect, where Saturn was placed in Capricorn. And so the challenge to the world continued, and the challenge of the pandemic never ceased. It just carried on, and we saw that number of deaths happened in the UK, number of deaths also happened in the European Union, and number of deaths also happened in the United States. And that's how the trend is going to move. The pandemic is going to move from place to place, and it will leave its mark with a wake of destruction, and hence it is incumbent upon us to be able to save ourselves from that situation. When Jupiter transited into Capricorn last year, end of 2020 November, that's when Jupiter started to give company to Saturn, and Jupiter was aspecting Rahu with its 5th aspect. And so somewhere around last year November, we saw the numbers slowly going down around the world, because while Rahu was aspecting Saturn with its 9th aspect, increasing the numbers worldwide from last year January onwards, more from March onwards, especially creating havoc in the Western world. But however, when Jupiter transited into Capricorn and started to aspect Rahu from last year November onwards, those 2-3 months we saw the numbers slowly decreasing worldwide, and things becoming more and more normal in the Western world also. And then we also had the news of the vaccine also being created, and worldwide Western countries rushing to vaccinate their people. However, last month in March started to transit over Rahu, and so the Angakaraka dosha was created. The Angakaraka dosha is created when Rahu and Mars are in conjunction. Rahu and Mars conjunction is called an Angakaraka dosha, means a fire dosha. And so from then onwards, from the end of March onwards, and especially beginning of April, the first week of April, the Angakaraka, the fire dosha is in effect. And what does fire mean? Fire means cremations, because fire is used to cremate bodies. And so in a country where cremations are done, most fire played its part, and that's why in India today we find a lot of cremation grounds being busy. Furnaces are burning down. The situation is such. Now Mars has transited out of the Angakaraka dosha. However, the situation has not changed, because Jupiter has transited into Aquarius, has moved away from Capricorn, and so the 5th aspect of Jupiter on Rahu is ceasing, and Rahu is continuing to aspect Saturn with its 9th aspect. So for the next 2 or 3 months, till there is no aspect of Jupiter and Rahu to control Rahu, and Rahu is aspecting Saturn in Capricorn, the sign of karma, the zodiac will play its game, the zodiac will have its way, the zodiac will continue to wreak havoc and leave destruction in its wake. So till Jupiter transits back into Capricorn, so for the next 2-3 months this challenge is going to continue. However, by the end of the year in November, Jupiter will transit into Aquarius again, and that's when the second challenge, and that's when another wave of the challenge will start, maybe in the subcontinent or in some other country as well. And hence this cycle of wave after wave will continue. One of the factors is astrologically Rahu, Saturn and Jupiter playing hide and seek with each other, interweaving in and out of conjunction with each other, and Ketu being in the sign of Scorpio, which is the 8th house, which is also the house of Ayu or life, and Ketu is the denier of life. So challenges will continue to present. So challenges will continue to be there till Rahu continues to aspect Saturn or vice versa. Now next year March in 2022, Rahu will move into the Kalpurush Lagna in Aries, the sign of fire, and so Rahu will continue to create challenges when it moves into Aries. However, then Saturn will transit into Aquarius somewhere around June next year in 2022, and from Aquarius Saturn will be aspecting Rahu with its third aspect and aspecting Rahu in the Lagna, which is the ascendant, which constitutes life itself. And so there will be wave after wave, the challenges will continue. So till Rahu remains in Aries and under the aspect of Saturn, till Rahu's transit comes out of Aries and Rahu retrogrades back into Pisces somewhere around end of September 2023, that's when the world will see a more subsiding of the challenges and issues. Till that time there will be challenges. So in a certain way, this year 2021 is a wipeout year in some area of the world or the other, and definitely the subcontinent will continue to bear the challenges. I am not naming a country because it's not going to be one country. There will be wave after wave and will be affecting many countries. In effect, no country in the world or no region in the world will remain unaffected. Those countries which have large population and populations staying together, closer together, they will be at the highest risks, and that's why we saw New York, which is a more congested city, that also getting affected, and we found that Mumbai, which is also a very congested city, also getting affected. And so wherever you have large metros like Delhi or Mumbai or New York, around the world you will find metros getting affected much stronger. But the bigger challenge is going to be that when Rahu and Saturn play hide and seek with each other, the information that is true information doesn't come through. Information is hidden. So the numbers could be much higher than that will be reported in the end. And so we don't want to end up as a number. So try and be safe. Try and not go into those areas where there is a high population or congested population or marketplaces. Stay away from there, because those places will be the places will be the breeding grounds. Those will also be the grounds where death will be lurking. We don't want to be caught in death's shadow. What can we do to stay at home and be safe? Because we have also heard of cases where some people, in spite of taking all precautions, have also been at the receiving end. In spite of all the precautions, there is one important thing that we need to do, is to improve our karma and to do righteous behavior. And if you have done any wrongs, try and correct those wrongs. Not get into any risky actions, not get into any speculations that market is suddenly going up, I will try and speculate here, I will invest money here, I will profit out of this pandemic, I will profit out of this situation. Try and avoid those. Try and help as many people as possible. The challenge is, this is not a test of only those people who are affected. This is a test of everybody. If you have been safe so far and you have not tried to help those people who you can help with your service or with your money, or at least a prayer for them, then definitely we may also be caught unaware. So try and help as many people as possible. If you can't do service, if you can't volunteer to service, give some donations of money or some kind, or try to help people if you have the resources in some way or the other, but don't just stay quiet even while trying to save yourself and be safe at home. So friends, this is a tough time. I don't want to get into what ascendants will be more at the receiving end, what will not be. If you have a strong Mars, you may come out of the challenge and all. That's not going to work out. The strongest of horoscopes may not help when the situation is of a Desh Kal Patra, where the whole world is going through a certain challenge, and so this challenge is not going to go away soon. This is going to continue for at least another 2.5 years before it subsides slowly. Vaccinations will also work only so much. So try and be safe, try and have righteous behavior, try and help each other, and please try and please avoid any bravado, because it is not going to help. It is not going to help your families. So friends, stay home and stay safe and help each other and help those people around you. Donate to people as much as possible, and do pray for those people who are at the receiving end, even if you are safe so far. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me, the links given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is the friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.